Hello, I'm talking about the short story, The Lottery. And we get introduced on some characters, but the only character that goes through any kind of development is a middle-aged woman named Mrs. Hutchinson. And she comes to the lottery and is joking and talking with a friend, Mrs. Delatroy, then is an awfully happy mood compared to the rest of the village. But her mood quickly changes when she then draws the unlucky number and becomes the one who gets stoned. A scene here where it says Tessie Hutchinson was in the center of a cleared space by now, and she held her hands out desperately as the villagers moved in on her. "It isn't fair," she said, as stone hit her on the side of her head. Yeah, and then she gets stoned. But as the scene plays out, there's no one who objects to this, not even her husband or her kids or her best friend that she just talked to. Stating here, Mrs. Delatroy settled on selected a stone so large she had to pick it up with both hands and turned to Mrs. Dunbar. "Come on," she said, "hurry up." So like, the villagers don't see the actions as wrong or evil, or at least they see it as a necessary evil for the well-being of the town. In their eyes, it's inevitable. With old man Warner saying, "Used to be a saying about lottery in June, come corn be heavy soon. First thing you know, we'd all be eating stewed chickweed and acorns. There's always been a lottery," he added petulantly. And that is his reaction to the suggestion that some other towns don't have the lottery. So this says a lot about what the character thinks, what's go through their head, right? They don't really want to do this, but there doesn't seem to be any choice. It's just how things is. That's just how things are. It's just how things are. Yeah. And my second analytic point is a narration. And the story of the lottery is told by a third-person narrator who isn't really a part of the story. She's unintrusive, just a spectator, and then it doesn't tell anything about what people think or feel. Then the only way we get told anything is through the character's dialogue and the description that the narrator tells us. Yeah. And the narrator doesn't really have an attitude, or at least is not meant to have an attitude. It's just watching all this going on without complaining, without saying if he or her if they're for or against. And this it gives the reader this very frustrating effect of just like being there and seeing the horrible scene coming from a mile away and not be able to do anything about it, not knowing why it happens. It's just like it just happens, and it's a lot like what happens, what the characters feel, right? This isn't something that they can prevent. This just happens, and that's really the feeling that the narrator gives the reader when you read this. And like, it's inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it, and that's it for me.